So welcome back to ESL ONE Cologne. As you're seeing us, you can imagine it's almost game time now. There's a lot of pre-talk there, a lot to be covered. But we have Cash, we have Cloud9, we have NiP. Jason, where are we going to start on this one?
I think you have to start with the new additions of the NiP guys. I mean, that's the first time we're going to see them play with Rez. I mean, that's quite cool. See how all the improvements have come, and then also, I mean, this isn't a new addition, but the fact that Threat is finally with the team full time. We've seen what he can do when he gives them significant amounts of his time. So another chance here for him to prove his worth.
Yeah, it's quite weird, isn't it? We come into this map and, you throw back your mind to when NiP were extraordinary on this. It was because of, the man behind them. Of course, he gave them a great deal of a push in that direction. Then, every North American team used to seemingly love Cash as well. And it's not exactly a bad map with Cloud9 either. So quite a nice little arena to see these two actually throw down on.
Yeah, and more than anything, I think Threat just gave them like an identity. Like we've seen since he's kind of been in and out, and then since they've struggled over the past, 6 months or so, it just doesn't look like they know how they even wanted to play. So as a coach coming in, obviously that's kind of where you're going. They've been a little bit undisciplined, so you'd like to see them have some kind of discipline in some of those, not losing too many guns, not chasing things down, not overextending.
Well, it will be Cloud9 on that T side, NiP on the CT side, and it looks like Cloud9 have a plan in mind, but already CT-sided aggression to a degree, having a little peek towards main, two players facing, and falling off it.
That's what Freiberg just mentioned on the desk, some of the risks you can take at A main to at least, I mean, it's worth it if you can get the info, even if you were to fall. So they see nothing's in A main, and they're going to back off. So moving forward, they won't find any of that, but very, very passive from both teams. A little bit of distraction from nothing. Smoke flash combination. They're going to try and apply some pressure over towards the B bomb site.
NiP aren't having any of this. They've actually fallen all the way back towards CT. Rez is spotting from upper, but alright, I'm liking this. It's a very tentative game so far.
Yeah, and normally, I mean, Cloud9 is just marked with that aggression, right? So we've seen them have so many fast-paced rounds since the Americas minor, since PGL. Now slowing things down right out of the gate. Sometimes this is a little bit of their weakness, but definitely having a plan. I mean, when you come into a pistol round with two smokes on the terror side, usually that feels like you're going to use them for executes, and the one they put over towards B is just a crossover towards Sunroom, and they haven't really used it yet. Stewie spotted one in connector as well.
There's a lot of pressure on Highway, though. If they do try and take over this mid-control, or at least if Stewie pushes any further, he's going to be in trouble. But talented player, if he gets one, if he can maybe hinder the rotate, if he can just, ease up the pressure that could hit on B, that could be quite a decent spot for him.
Yeah, he's a lurker to prevent anyone from going into vents on the rotation, because this is going to be a B hit. There's 25 seconds left, 4 players congregated in that direction. Smoke Molotov, and there he goes. Maybe peeking a little bit too soon, maybe trying to be a bit of a distraction, but the mid presence is gone.
That's good. Nice flash there, going to force Forest off the angle, and now Cloud9 to at least swarm towards the bomb site itself. So the bomb could be planted pretty soon unless Rez hits something pretty nice on the cross, but not going to be happening. Bomb going down, 8 seconds remaining. Pretty close to the marker, but still, bomb plant, 4 alive. Automatic and Shroud do have armor, the rest not so much so, but still a 5-man retake, kit on Get Right. There's a lot to be seen here between these two.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Automatics have a big role to play inside the bomb site at a headshot angle as well. NiP, they have no utility. They do have a kit on Get Right. Draken on the flank, though. Nothing's got to be aware of that.
Yeah, and they were hoping Stewie's could be there to maybe cut that off initially, but he goes down first and foremostly just moments ago, and by this point, NiP have crunched the site, picked up almost every kill, and Rez is having a moment. Now that's a shot and a half.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. He gets 4 kills in the round as well, so quite nicely done from him in his opening round in a tournament with NiP here at ESL ONE. That's huge pistol round.
And you've got to say as well, for a newer player to this sort of level, although it is at the MMC Arena, which is a closed set, it's quite it doesn't have the massive crowd. Even just him mentally to get that nice quick start, that good start, feeling confident, feeling like, all right, I'm doing well here. That's got to be great for him mentally.
Yeah, especially for young players, pistol rounds sometimes can be so important. Especially because when you're young and inexperienced, it's a little bit more momentum based. So getting those 4 kills definitely helps you moving forward, especially if he's going to be the anchor over towards this B bomb site. If they're going to have trust in him to play all alone.
No pressure.
Yeah, and Cloud9, it looks like they want to go right at him this round.
Yeah, 19 years old. Rez just going to have to lock this one out. Cloud9 have the Tech 9s, they've got mollies, they've got flashes, and here it comes. Rez has to be stoic in nature, and he just gets swept aside. Well-constructed hit from Cloud9, and so far it's doing well. They can get the bomb towards the site in just a moment's time. Molly towards upper, denies the peak, Drake can force back. This is not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. And that's a very, very swift opening. Nice shot from Shroud. NiP, you got to imagine they're going to at least try and retake, see if they can get anything, maybe a couple kills, but it might be an idea for them to save if they can't find anything sooner in a 4-on-5. Maybe just back off a little bit, but for now they want to probe and see what they can get.
Well, the nade does damage, but there's just so many bodies in the way. There's so many people still standing. 5, of course, and yeah, they're going to back from this. Very nicely done from Shroud.
Yeah, that's sick. And then the follow-up smoke as well prevents anyone from NiP really making any progress in the bomb site. Once that smoke plumes again in the later stages of the round, it's just kind of like, no, all right, round's over.
Yeah.
I think NiP is going to have to back up him, Rez, a little bit over towards that B bomb site. They cannot rely on a player that young, that inexperienced. They have had a lean towards the A bomb site in both of those rounds, even on the pistol round. I mean, that was a complete retake strategy from NiP.
It was a heavy old stacked towards highway, wasn't it? There were like 3 players around there, so again, see if that kind of continues down the line, but still, it's early days. Good impression, though, from Cloud9 to get themselves back into the game so early, coming to round 3. At least they've got the full buy-up. Maybe not as perfect as they'd like, but it's pretty darn good at this point. And NiP going to be suffering with Rez, so he needs babysitting at this point.
Yeah, he absolutely has to with that CZ. It might be something where they just swap him over to the rotating position and allow someone else to anchor down that bomb site. Looks like it's going to be Forrest there with him. Flashbangs, nades in towards A main to start with, and NiP's going to go for the boost. This is a little bit delayed. If they make noise, they're going to be heard here.
Well, and then on the other side has his name almost on that spot, so wondering if they're going to check it this late. It looks like Automatic might be considering. We'll see if they actually continue to kind of keep that in mind as they do make their hit eventually. Automatic just waiting on the other side of things. No one really pushing either for NiP. The late round aggression, we're going to see if that maybe comes through. That's still a possibility here.
This is actually a really interesting game plan coming out for Cloud9, because normally we see them open games much more fast-paced, and if you can stop that, that's when they transition into the slow-paced round. So this is them. I mean, you take the pistol round, which wasn't even executed till like 25, 30 seconds. Now here, setting up in this slow-paced, spread-out default to start things out. Very more strategic heavy, and I mean, Cloud9 has talked about how they've worked on that. Nothing is referenced it in a couple interviews.
This is great info from Draken as well. He's realized that no one's actually pushed out yet. Okay, Squeaky's been tampered with. He's spotted a foot. All the information is now coming back around. Great position on top of Squeaky just by that little light. He's posted up still again. Automatic goes down. Good flashes now as well, hindering the timing. Down to 30 seconds. Cloud9 are hitting a bit of a brick wall almost.
Yeah, they cannot move forward whatsoever. So much damage done. Automatic gone. Stewie down to 10 HP. Those are the 2 most aggressive playmakers that Cloud9 has. So now it falls onto Jordan. They're going to transition over towards the B bomb site, coming through the vents where it's just Rez. Force is on his way back, but can he get here in time?
15 seconds. If he can find the bomb, if he can... Oh my god, this could be huge. Rez! Brilliant work from him. What an impression to make. Denies the round, spiraling out of control after a great beginning. Even happened towards A at the beginning there. Who was it? It was Draken boosted up, wasn't it? That was so good.
Yeah, that was perfect from him. I mean, just the information, spotting the legs, the kill, the damage. I mean, as well, because you think about it, you know, when Stewie and Automatic died, that's when Cloud9 is just like, all right, who's next? Who can make the play from here? And just not enough time to do anything kind of coordinated over towards that B bomb site. Brilliant round from NiP, playing that very patiently. Force up into this for Cloud9, AK-47 on Stewie. Pistols on the rest. Skadoodle's got all of the utility, but it's got to be Stewie to open up the round.
Get right, going full leg here. And does alright by it. Stewie, that's the danger man removed. At least there's armor, so that gun can be dropped around a little bit.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the kind of the game plan here for Cloud9 is just, you know, recycle the weapon. But get right, that is a magnificent shot. Shroud, speaking of which, with the deagle from door, Exist gets dropped. That's got to be painful. Now Get Right's in a weird position where he's got to keep his eye over towards A and towards mid, and he's found one, but he can't win the battle. Automatic's opening things up, and he's brought Forrest down pretty low.
That's a brilliant prediction as well from Automatic. Didn't quite have the HP to sustain through it, but now with Skadoodle finding the kill towards Draken, that's pretty much opened up A. They can get the bomb down, they can get a decent off-plant position, but it's the, you know, the sustainability that they don't really have. They have one rifle, couple of pistols. Forrest and Rez still looking pretty decent. Some mollies, some flashes. This retake is still possible.
Yeah, it's tough to handle when you're a man down over towards that A bomb site. That highway player has such a tough job to do, going back and forth. And again, another retake scenario where if NiP doesn't get something soon, they might just want to call it off. 3 on 2, they're going to go for it, though. I think nothing was spotted at Forklift. Rez trying to make his way. The new player taking bullets. He's down to 1 HP. He's going to get nothing anyways. But his teammate does fall, and Rez, he just needs to bail out of this one. He cannot win this round with only 1 HP, or can he? He's found Skadoodle, but Shroud goes for the aggressive peek.
Yeah, the lockdown in the end. It started to get a little bit worrying when I was like...
It did get a little dicey.
I kind of start to believe in this guy. I'm starting to believe. But belief or not, it's 2-2 at the end of the day. And then NiP... we haven't seen much from them yet. We've seen some good individual ability coming out of Rez. I don't think anyone's surprised to see that. I think that's pretty much a consistent factor. On the other side of things, a little quiet beginning for Cloud9, but the pace they've come in with has been quite intriguing to watch. It seems more stoic, more considered, a little slower almost.
If NiP looked into Cloud9 on this map, they've had plenty of cash games. They're going to be confused, maybe, by how slow-paced this has been, how much more measured this team has been. Trading rounds early on in this game as well, back and forth for 4 of them. Neither team able to establish the economic control quite yet. Another default setup for Cloud9 that allows NiP to get aggressive in towards A main. It'll be interesting to see how long they decide to stick around, because they are a little bit hurting for utility, and they've already backed out of it.
But I like this. I like the way NiP are probing for information. They're not just sitting back. They're not just kind of waiting for Cloud9 to make all the moves. They are pushing at least a touch. Now, Get Right again. He's going to have a lot to handle if they actually go for this. A couple of players by the boost, one toward mid. And he's still doing the jump spot. Smoke comes in. No one's actually pushed through just yet or dropped down towards garbage. You can't actually see that perfectly, but now they're going to push through. He's going to spot out one. Nade comes out, and now he falls off highway. He's got support there as well, but I guess you're going to give up mid. Cloud9 do control that for now.
That's quite nice. I mean, that's the only option that Get Right really has, is just to fall off of mid, which is tough. He's the only player there, so as soon as he spots something, and with the UMP on top of that, there's just not much you can do. So it does put him in a tough defensive position of where they don't have any information. You can see there's no eyes on middle whatsoever.
They still have a player pushed in towards A main at least. That could be a huge issue for Cloud9 if they don't consider it. Look at the time as well. They do, luckily for them, sweep him out of the way. Nothing there going to do the job. Draken goes down. Red's the next in line, 20 seconds. Cloud9 need to make this hit right about now. Otherwise, they simply don't have enough time. These UMPs have pretty decent stopping power, to say the least. And look at him, Rez buying time like a champ. Goes back in. That is sensational play!
God.
Who is this man?
That is absolutely nuts. What a performance with the UMP. But you're exactly right. Cloud9, they just get stopped by the UMPs, and no one is aggressive whatsoever. Rez is allowed to be here for far too long. All the utility is expended, and no one from Cloud9 is making the moves. This USP, though, that's not bad at all, is it? This one at the end is...
Ooh, spicy play. I like it. And do you see just the
Just
laid out banana?
Spicy man, Lauren.
I would, Jason. But can we just appreciate the fallen banana left on the table in honor of Adam there? Just
In
like,
honor of
you know,
Freiburg.
that's the one.
Salute to a fallen comrade.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. Rez has been doing so far pretty good. So, you know, big shoes to fill. And this he's turning up early game. You know, whether or not that lasts, this is still, you know, very first game. This is group stage. Well, I mean, great start for him.
Yeah, no, those kills have high impact because it's helping them establish the economy. It's helping them to build their own and also just gain the dominance over Cloud9. Some team is going to be, oh, look at that flashbang. That's perfect.
Wow.
Stewie gets past, but he can't get the kill. Forrest down to 6 HP. This could be a tricky retake.
Cloud9 are really pushing the envelope here, at least towards NiP. They're finding it hard to make these retakes happen. They do still have a molly or two, but Automatic being a nuisance down toward middle, but he can't get the kill, so it doesn't really matter much just yet. If Shroud, though, hits this shot, things could get tricky. 4 players playing retake back in from truck, no shots hitting, and they know there's 2 players here on the boost. Nothing. Oh, that's the shot you wanted to see. And again, Shroud! He's coming alive, finally! Now the 1v1, though. Draken spotted out, tagged up. It's a one-shot, pretty much both ways of it. Shroud has the bomb and the shot! The headshot comes through! And Cloud9 showing resilience.
He's been so criticized in the past for not being able to pull off those plays that we've seen from him at different moments and being a little bit quiet in rounds, but that is a huge impact. Massive, and you can also see why people aren't really enjoying the Deagle at times. The long-range shots that just don't hit, and then he hits these ones. Beautiful stuff, and great peaks as well with the pre-fires, staying alive, isolating the one-on-ones. That is really, really sick. And I said I could get tricky, and it didn't seem like it until Shroud kind of came to play.
It all looked perfect for NiP for a good while.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, Rez. All right. No worries. Just going to fall back to side like, nice, I've done my job.
Why not go back and forth in these rounds?
You just love it, right? I'm not, to be completely fair as well, I actually really enjoy seeing the Deagle at the moment. It's the only pistol that I really don't mind apart from like, USP and the Glock. It feels right when you get that kill with it, or it looks like they deserve it.
It does feel very good, yeah.
I don't need Flusher doing the CZ spam anymore. I just don't need it in my life, you know? That's not what I look for.
I quite like it, actually.
You're into some unique things.
Yeah, I am, aren't I? Well, more mid-control for Cloud9. Let's see if they can use it. Again, rounds traded back and forth. All the way to 6. No one able to gain control of the match. And again, Cloud9 with 1 player down. That's nothing. With that mid-control, they just switch into a B-split. It's only going to be Rez here. And I say that, but he has the Deagle, and he did get the opening kill. He holds off on the shot. There's Forrest with 1. Rez is taken down, but Forrest gets 2. He's here, and he almost brings Automatic down, but he can't do it. 2 on 3. The bomb's going to get planted, but it looks like NiP is going to be able to return the favor.
He set up the rest of the team so perfectly. Bombs now planted, automatic, no chance in hell. That would have been a phenomenal 1v3 if he even had a shot in it, but by the time he came off that plant, they were already there, already removed that remaining teammate. That was so nicely done between Forest and Rez there. Perfect B play. And you said he might need a little bit more support, and Forest was there in time this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, is managing those rotations, and I think part of it also has to be when you don't have mid control ever, defenders just naturally gravitate towards B, because it's so hard to read that they're going to split that bomb site if you have no eyeballs, no presence in mid, so Forest just naturally leaning that way to begin with. Tweet there from Rez: today is a big day, my debut match with NiP, cheer for us. Well, he's had some stunners early on in this match.
Yeah, Chad liked to inform me we call them bangers.
Bangers?
Well. Yeah, absolute banger.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do like to learn
Australian,
varieties of English.
Aussie language.
But something we've been looking forward to, or at least I have been, is draking with the AWP again. This could be a fun little battle if it starts actually going. We see Cloud9 being able to actually purchase that one, of course. Money pretty tight over for the Cloud9 side, but again, still got Stewie up on the rifle.
Yeah, last time this happened, GetRight just took his head off immediately, and it had to get recycled. Either way, for now, once again, a lean towards the B bomb site. It looks like they've put up Shroud with the Deagle with the long range, maybe stop some kind of rotation, prevent people from getting in towards the vent, see if you can find the timing. Also firing off some shots, maintaining presence, maybe forcing some of the NiP players not to rotate quite yet. Either way, they have no map control towards the A bomb site. This is when another point that Freiburg made, that presence in towards A main. If NiP was to do it now, they would have phenomenal information and a read of what's coming.
I'm a little terrified for Drake, and though one flash comes through this, or any sort of pressure, where does he fall back to comfortably? He's going to already kind of start edging away from this, but going to spot one, sticks around long enough to connect the shot towards Stewie. Again, that rifle will fall into the hand of Skadoodle this time, and the rest of the hit will begin from Cloud9. This time, though, not with quite that punch that we saw before, and now you can see NiP comfortably locking that down.
Really nice as well. Finally 2 rounds in a row for one of these teams, and it's a big switch up. I mean, they bring the AWP over on Drake, and they're finally able to get that out because their money has just been so up and down. But putting it over towards the B bomb site, Cloud9's trying to take advantage of perhaps the rifles, perhaps the UMPs, but not expecting an AWP, so he's able to get that kill and fall away. But you're exactly right, a flashbang that comes out at the wrong moment. It's a very, tenuous position, and it should be said, we just saw the score of Stewie. He's at 0-7 at the moment. He's not having a great time.
When was the last time we saw Stewie not being, on point for Cloud9? It always felt like we wait for the others to join him if maybe, it was automatic and Stewie were the two providers, right? But where are they this game?
Well, he's one of those players that seems to thrive in the hectic situations, right? So, I mean, obviously the fast-paced style is going to be a little bit more suitable to how he likes to play and how aggressive he likes to be. Yeah. And also with this kind of slow-paced style, it might be something where as the in-game leader, he's trying to get other people involved. He's trying to run plays that maybe, is going to get Skadoodle involved or is going to get nothing to heat up a little bit.
It's a dangerous game to play if he can provide damn good results, to say the least. This, again, not going to go too far for Cloud9. If they can get a bomb plant, that's lovely. Is he going to have time? Yeah, you should be able to get the bomb plant. Not bad in the end. Obviously not what you want if you're Cloud9, but if you've only got a Glock and you're sending Shroud in there, you're all right with that.
Not what you want if you're on NiP as well. 4 players alive and someone with no armor, no utility just makes his way to get a plant. So a little bit of a lapse there for NiP, but it's all right. They've built up a good amount of money as well. So Cloud9 into this next gun round, they're definitely going to be buying here. Have to see what they come up with, because these slow styles have been great when they've been trading rounds and the economy isn't in any team's favor and NiP hasn't been able to get the AWP. But if they're still going to run that, it'll be curious to see if they actually have something that can kind of counteract this. It's what they've struggled with in the past. I imagine we're going to see a change in pace here pretty soon.
I was towards it the next couple of rounds. Maybe a pause possibly to get them back into this. I'm kind of curious as to what we're going to see. But, 6-3 still scoreline-wise. It's not over in either way. We're still into really nice territory coming for Cloud9. Goodbye finally for them as well. Decent utility. No AWPs. Still out. Kind of hoping we get to see that maybe down the line. But for now, not the case. Rez, though. I love this. Just going straight out there. Now, nothing is spotting this, but he's going to have to move off this eventually unless he's just going to follow up with, the most standard of defaults throughout this. But Rez is so actively looking for this. Catches a full flash, though, but he knows it's only one man now. Brilliantly played. you normally have NiP, you know, you look at Get Right for that B play on the T side, but it looks like Rez has got that one locked down, and then joining is Draken through mid. Stewie gets removed, and you're down to 3. Suddenly this goodbye, you know, finally that utility looking good for these boys has been kind of ruined, but Automatic comes alive in middle. That's the answer we're waiting for. Some sort of fight back from Cloud9, pressure towards Hideaway, but still, no connection, falls off it, and where are the others?
That transfer from Automatic is sick over towards Connector, and Exist has to take that fight. He wants to stay in the A bomb site to be with his teammate. He knows Get Right is here. Smokes are down, a lot of pressure. Shroud with the Molotov. Get Right's going to have to move. Another one goes towards Quad as well. He's going to be burning pretty soon, but I think it actually stops short. There's Exist with the backup. He's going to swing wide, but completely blinded. And Cloud9 is slowed down from this hit, but over the top is Skadoodle. He's in a one-on-one.
36 seconds. Bomb goes in. Rez is so close already, though. I don't know if Skadoodle's ready for that one. He wasn't, but still makes it into cover, but swings back out, and Rez just quicker on the trigger and better overall at the moment. This guy is playing a very solid game. Not only that first opener, removing nothing away, instantly getting himself in a better position after the back of it, and then coming back around. Going to get the AWP here as well, just to really keep the money up and keep them in a good spot. But overall, this guy is delivering.
Yeah, I think the takeaway from that round for me is Rez is being really let off the leash, right? He's not being put into a system, not being said to like calm down, don't make those plays. He's standing in the smoke all on his own, waiting for nothing to use the utility. And as soon as he thinks the moment is right, he strikes. So NiP trying to let these guys have the freedom to make the plays that they want. That's quite nice. But Cloud9, if they're going to play this slow style, right, they have to find a way. They can't lose nothing individually like that over towards the B-bomb site. They can't also lose Stewie in the mid-connector by himself. Some of those need to be traded. You're not going to get that double kill from Automatic that turns that into a pretty dicey round every single time. So really they're having a tough time opening up some of these rounds.
Yeah, it's a little disheartening to see, because it feels like some of the opening rounds, of course, it was back and forth for such a long time, and now it feels like maybe NiP have just kind of sunk in a little bit here. Starting to see Rez really, looking comfortable. No one having to, do the hard carry, it seems yet. Of course, Rez is doing very nicely for himself, but still, it looks like everyone in NiP is delivering to a degree. So if they get more and more comfortable, you see Drakenstein to really provide some kills with that AWP as well. And we're not even mentioning the big names we normally go to of, Get Right and Forest. They're the names we normally wait to see, if they have a good game, maybe we're going to have something here from NiP, but it looks like everything so far is, ticking the right boxes.
Listen, Rez is 15-4. He's got 130 ADR so far in this game. That's a phenomenal start for a guy in his first match for this team. If you go to the other side, the star players that you'd think of, Stewie and Automatic. Stewie's 0-9 at the moment. Automatic is 5-9. So both of those guys having a little bit of a tough time finding success. And again, we're seeing this default. Same as last time. Stewie in middle. And there's the opening pick. This is what Cloud9 needs to stop this. That's a nice flashbang. They have the idea. It unfortunately doesn't completely cause Draken any pressure. But this is so many times now that Cloud9's lost the opening player.
And I like the variety from Draken. He's feeling confident, but he gets outdone. It's going to happen, but the trade's there. Get Right instantly dives in to help him out, not letting him fall without reason. This is so powerful from NiP. Yeah,
it's one of the things where you say, all right, Drake, and you got that first kill, just fall back, just keep the advantage. But it's an all right move to make because you've got Get Right there ready for the trade. So still with the man advantage, still with map control and information as well. No one in the doorway. And Forest trying to peer towards mid, seeing what he can find. I think Cloud9's only real option here is to split up towards the A-bomb site. Not sure if Automatic heard those footsteps, but waiting for his teammates to get in a position, and this A-bomb site is going to be under a lot of pressure, especially with Get Right so low.
Do they still have the player on boost? I think they do. So this could still change things. Exist this time up there. Last time it was Draken when he was on the rifle, but he can still make it awkward. But the problem is Highway. It's always hard to handle it, but this time he does. He steps up to the plate, and then he follows up as well. Skadoodle gets completely destroyed. Now nothing's left in a 1v2. 33 seconds. Does have the bomb and one flash. If you can isolate maybe one of these, the possibilities start to begin, but a tough situation all around. Default plant not available. Molly was in. Gets himself towards the other side of red, flash over towards the truck, and looks for the first fight. That would have been Rez. He's already going to back away from it, though, and waits for this plant. It's not a bad plant. He can see this remain.
Yeah, his plan here is going to try and get one as they cross into the bomb site. So he's waiting. He's trying to bide his time, trying to pick the right moment to get that peek. He'd love to bring it into a one-on-one. Obviously, got to be wary about opposition, and there it is. He finds the kill. No, he doesn't. It was perfect. That's exactly what he needed. And Forrest with a rebuttal shuts it down. Another round for NiP.
Head in hands there for nothing as well. You could see it on the cam. That's gutting for him. It played out so well. They didn't even check it on the cross. He had that shot, that one chance to make it happen, but you hate to see it. It
was great mobility and decision-making by nothing as well. I don't think NiP even considered that he could have gotten back to A main without the information. So really, really nice job by him putting himself in that advantageous position, but just misses the shot, doesn't he? I think he was so worried about getting back into cover. I think a couple of those bullets must have hit the wall to prevent the killing blow.
pretty gutting, especially when you make the right choices. That's the
Yeah,
problem. It's like, I did
exactly.
everything right and then I messed up. It's just like those sort of situations. Rez, though, having a little bit of a peek over by B. Sunrum now looks, pretty clear for this moment, but the two T players are slowly working their way around, so he can't really read into it too much. Going to see the smokes and the flashes possibly being used, so he gets an idea of this. But again, you see the variety that Rez is playing with. This is a new look to this guy. Again, every single round, he pushed up before, he did find that kill towards nothing. He's played headshot, he's played checkers. He's really bringing a nice variety to how he's doing this.
Yeah, well, he's getting a lot of space to do so because Cloud9 is playing this so slow and so far back at the start of these rounds. It would be interesting if Cloud9 picks up the pace to see if those plays are still going to work by him, because that's when you get the massive amount of bodies coming through flashbangs and smokes. This is going to be a timing play, though. One player on boost in mid. That's going to be automatic. He's dropped down. He can stop rotations, but at the moment it's a 4-on-2 at this B bomb site in Forest. He gets spotted. He gets forced back already.
Puts down the molly, so Rez is at least safe from the main push-up. Tries to find a fight, and it's actually going to be headshot is going to be the next angle to really be worried about, but doesn't expect it maybe too quick as they made it there. Stewie the first in. Now Get Right going to be watching to see if they go for the cross, if he can maybe spot it out, but the bomb's already there. Playing retake now is going to be tricky. They still have an AWP up, which never plays all that easily, but Draken's still going to find it towards automatic. It's down to a 3v3. After plant now, they're going to go in. Still mollies as well available, but Stewie going to find Exist. That removes Get Right's teammate. Now he's all alone playing in from upper. And where's Draken? He's joined him now. Looking through, Stewie on the site, peeks up from default. And now that plays in Get Right, but this is so tough. They're playing this nicely. Cloud9 buying time. What is that? Nothing! A dangerous play. He's depending on the others to come into line, and they do. Skadoodle's there to support him. Draken's down to 7. It's time to save. Oof,
yeah, absolutely. It's nice
not.
Spam from nothing, though, right at the end to get their fourth.
Good job.
So there's a good timing push, and there's that explosive style we know from Cloud9. A little bit slower in the beginning, but as soon as the nades, as soon as the smoke clears in the choke point, they explode, and Rez isn't given a chance. He has one nice kill, but he isn't given a chance to reset, find a new position before Stewie can take him down. So Stewie, he got on the board last round. He gets 2 this time to help crack open that B bomb site, but a 4th for Cloud9. Money starting to dwindle a little bit for NiP, and I think we're going to have a tactical timeout.
At the moment, I think we're just checking in as to what's going on. Referees having a little bit of a wander over.
Still a chance for like a great half for Cloud9, despite how odd it's looked at times and how like underwhelming it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of those tradings early on, that's the first time Cloud9 has had success. So
It just doesn't feel as a collective. You know what I mean? When you see the rounds they win, there was the back and forth trading at the beginning. A very nice deagle work from Shroud coming in, a couple of nice pieces from Rez as well for the NiP side. But it looks like NiP just stabilized more. That was the thing. It just looks more concise when they win the rounds, and it does help when you have a player like Rez now starting to go off too.
in all fairness, I mean, there has been the 5-round streak that NiP was on. 4 of them were plants, so 4 of them had diffuses in them. So a lot of bonus money for Cloud9. The extra $800 repeatedly helps out very, very much, but they're still finding some success, at least in the sense that they're getting to the bomb sites.
Well, at the moment. Oh, Red Eye chiming in. He's not even at the event and he's already chiming in. Thanks, Pope. Appreciate it. Can't stay away, can he? Sees a hashtag, he's all over it.
Yeah, he loves those hashtags, doesn't he? Loves the memes. We got a Brutal Savage wrecked at the maid qualifier.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was quite good. I've been waiting for that to come to Counter-Strike for a long time.
Yeah. That's what we need. Maybe on the stage. We'll get a bit of that here, if we're lucky.
Oh, yeah, only if we're lucky.
Yeah. We must wait patiently, like NiP, as it is a technical timeout, not a tactical one. I was wondering, I was like looking at both the teams, like no one's actually talking that much.
Yeah.
No one's doing them like this is a weird tactical timeout if this is what they've gone for. But
right.
I'm not sure what's happening. The referee's just kind of wandering around. He's having a look, but we'll see. We'll find out soon what the issue is, so we can keep you guys updated. But 8-4 thus far. Has this, does this look like a rejuvenated NiP then? Because we go back to what the desk was saying, right? You've got Threat behind them now. You've got 2 new young bloods coming in who've kind of, I guess, reinvigorated the lineup. But is this enough of proof yet, or is it just way too early?
I mean, it's way too early. We'll have to see more. But I mean, the good signs are that Rez is being allowed to make whatever play he wants. It looks like he's being aggressive. He's trying to open things up, and I think that's brilliant. We saw a couple rounds. It's been Rez and Draken opening up those rounds with the AWP in certain positions to get the first pick off, and those are things that, for whatever reason, the other players from NiP kind of stopped doing for some time, or when they were doing it wasn't convincing. Maybe it's a loss of confidence that we've seen in some of the player. A lot, like when you're that long in a slump, it just seems like you don't really want to make those plays. It's very hard to get over that kind of feeling that those plays won't work for you. So bringing in some of the newer guys, it seems like they're having a very big impact early on in some of these rounds.
Absolutely. Now, It looks like we're almost ready to go at this point. Oh, it looks like it at least is.
Looks like it.
You know, headsets are on is what I'm looking at. When I see people starting to stand up with headsets off, I'm just like, oh no, don't you dare stand up. I saw Exist moving, I was like, no, don't you dare. I just called it. But no, it looks like maybe things will be started up pretty soon. I do wonder what the issue was at the end of the day, but
something with Draken's one who had his headphones off, so I think it had to have been something to do with him.
Yeah, I wonder. But I don't think we're going to lose much out of this, even momentum-wise. It feels like neither team responds massively to it anyway at this sort of point. I think it may be nice for Cloud9 to have a little bit of a break from the pounding they were taking for a while, but they just won the round, so
yeah,
you know, they're back in a decent position finally.
I think it's just interesting the pacing they've come out with, how slow it's been, because I mean that's been like my big criticism of them for some time now is when they're allowed to be fast-paced and they have success going fast. That looks great, but when they're forced to slow down, when the fast things don't work, then all of a sudden the slower tactics that they have to bring are just sometimes very underwhelming. Like they struggle to find the opening kills, they struggle to find entrances into bomb sites. But even in the losses, they found their way into plants, so that's good. And putting 4 rounds on the board already, benefited by some of that early trading, they can still turn this into a very, very close half and bring a good effort into the second.
All right, well, we're going to find out now if that's actually the case. 8-4 still being the scoreline, but Cloud9 showing a little bit of a fight back into this one. It's not been a complete whitewash and a bit of a different approach. 3 players through Squeak at the moment. I'm not sure what they're intending here. This could be a very, very interesting approach is all I'm going to say. There is a player pushed up towards main as well, so that could be an interesting pinch coming through this. I'm waiting to see how this one unfolds.
I thought he was boosted. I was going to say that boost has been criminal to Cloud9 in this half. Rotations are in, and there's the opening pick again. Draken with that AWP. That's so nice. Shroud's going to try and pinch him in, prevent him from getting it away, and he does so. No backup for Draken. At least Skadoodle takes out Get Right. This is a good start. And Exist, he's dropped. Good execution from Cloud9. It's a 4-on-2.
Love it. Apply pressure mid, pinch through the door. You just completely catch out the AWPer. It's gone as well as you imagine that round ever could, really. That's sort of a dream scenario where NiP just kind of dance to the tune you're playing, I guess, at this point. So Bomb's plant, there's nothing really going to come back in here from NiP. This is a very nice round from Cloud9, finally.
And you absolutely love that kind of initiative from Shroud. When the AWP kills his teammate in A main, he gets his ass out that door, and he makes sure he doesn't get away. That's beautiful stuff. That's kind of some of the convincing play we don't often see from him.
And that's the thing, a lot of players will second guess coming out of Squeak like that. It's not like you have a smoke down towards highway, it's not like you don't know, there could be someone in quad, there could be someone default on site, but he's just gone in there to get the job done, to get that trade available.
That just shows like a lack of fear of dying, right? He's just like, okay, my one role, my one job this entire round is to kill the AWPer. That's all I need to do. Even if it gets me killed, you allow your teammates to progress towards the bomb sites, you allow them to swing a little bit wider in A main, you take out any of the fear in your teammates. So really, really good stuff. Big impact kill there for Shroud.
And look what it's done to the money of NiP. That has dwindled massively. They seem to have had a phenomenal run of money in their pocket, sitting very, very nicely. But now you're down to the UMPs, a little bit of utility here and there. No AWPs to be seen, of course. But maybe they want to get that CT side aggression going again, or maybe the boost. Now, last time they weren't able to get away with this. You can see the spam coming in, but you can still boost up just around the side of it, so it could still be possible.
The ball's on Exist. Well, Force is going to get up, and we've seen this boost. I think this is the 3rd time we've seen it from NiP, and
3 different players as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been tough for Cloud9 to handle. They've been destroyed by it a couple times. So see if they have figured it out again that it'll be, or how to at least clear that position without losing too much. Mid controls looking likely for Cloud9. They've pretty much been able to have it whenever they've wanted it. It's the success from there that has been a little bit lacking. Get Right just playing a spotting game, willing to fall back as well. 3 players over towards the A bomb site. Again, a heavy lean towards this A site. Rez is all alone at B.
2 players dropping towards garbage. Get Right needs to kind of commit either full all the way back or stay and hold highway, and that's it. Turning from flashes in case one just kind of trickles through. But this is looking like that B crunch is coming through, and it's going to be Rez to receive unless they actually go for this play up highway. But kind of strange that they're going for this. Exist allowed who played in. Get Right now gets the angle too. Exist is there, perfectly babysitting the situation. 2 players from Cloud9 down. This is awful. This is a disaster for them unless they can get this B site fast. Shroud finding Rez will at least mean the bomb might be able to go down at least cleanly at this point. 20 seconds overall. They can't have this hindered.
Yeah, and you can see Automatic, he's getting a little bit aggressive to watch the flank because he knows he's got to get back with a man disadvantage, so he makes sure he aggressively clears it. Now he can come back. Now he can set up a triangle. Skadoodle is watching the vents with that AWP. 1 player in the bomb site as well. They've got good defense. Get Right's going to come in slowly, and the question is Automatic going to be patient enough to find this out?
Get Right so good at this normally, but Automatic is better. And now finally a man advantage. It's for Cloud9, and that's a shutdown in the end. After what looked so dire when they lost those players out on Highway, they turned that one right back around.
It's a little bit of a bummer because that was actually like a really cool stack that NiP does with using the slope of that highway. They have 3 players stacked vertically, and as soon as one is spotted on the rooftop, then they swing a little bit wider. They make sure they get him, and Cloud9 never saw that 3rd player. I think that was GetRight just right behind the spindle. So when he swung to try and punish that, there's 3 UMPs waiting for him. So a little bit of a nightmare for Cloud9 trying to get that mid control, but they make the B retake defense work out automatic. Like I said, being very aggressive on clearing his flank, going very far away from the bomb site to ensure safety. And now we're seeing some plays made by NiP. GetRight going to get boosted up and exists with an opening kill.
I do wonder how he's going to get away with this one. No one expecting it, didn't hear it, didn't see it. Automatic falls, and you can see Shroud instantly looking for a reply. I thought he hit that. It was nothing. Who found Draken in the meantime, and then Skadoodle getting GetRight down. But it's brought it back to a manageable situation, but they have no map control. They have nothing. They're playing out of spawn, basically, at this point. But the weapons still sit favorably by them. Rez as well with a lovely deep angle towards Sunroom. That's going to surely keep this one under wraps. I don't know. Maybe Skadoodle can do something here, but he's not a name that I've been saying often. And, well, there we go. There's the Tech9. Rez falls, but will he expect the second so close? No is the answer. Forrest there with a deagle to shut down on the half.
Yeah, you never expect that second player to be so aggressive, but great from NiP. Deficient on the utility, on the arsenal, and you get aggressive and you take the fight to the terrorist side. That's really, really beautifully done from them. All that pressure, and Cloud9's default couldn't sustain it whatsoever.
Right, well, as you can see, the players need a second to keep themselves prepared for that second half coming in. A big performance from both, though. NiP showing great signs of life. I can't wait to see what happens on that second half here. Cloud9 certainly having a resurgence towards the end of that game. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and
I hope so.
fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
So welcome back to ESL One Cologne. Now, we all know that Jason was loving that music, but something else we were loving...
I was dancing.
You were throwing some shapes. They were bangers.
It was good stuff.
Fair. Yeah, big fans.
Bangers is such a versatile word, isn't it?
It is. You can put it
You guys
anywhere.
use it for sausages, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Mash?
and mash. Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. Good work.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I'm learning languages. All English.
And there's some betting. Cool. Check it out. At the moment, we're kind of missing out on the pistol, though, because that... Stewie, this is sick. If he can somehow make it away, 3 HP, how is he alive? He gets pinched in the end. That was pretty hectic, to say the least. But normally, that's when he comes alive. Normally, that's his, you know, I guess, his playground almost. But down to 2 players now for NiP to try and fight this one back in.
That's Stewie in his element, right? Like, getting aggressive. He's finding 1 kill, but Automatic's there to help him out and back him up. He's got 3 in the round, but just creating space, delaying time. So then NiP, I mean, they can't make their way into the bomb site before the rotations come in, and that's all based off Stewie's aggression. So that's what we were lacking in the first half, right? That's what we didn't see, what was so surprising. And Shroud, that's a pretty clinical precision.
Yeah, Shroudy getting rowdy. We are just going to have a little look back on this one, because it was pretty hectic, but it was the man behind him doing the work. Stewie was there kind of like the bodyguard, you know, just you know, slowing him down, letting Automatic do all the heavy lifting, and he just trying to stay alive. But it was Automatic getting the 3K.
At a certain point, there's just not much more you can do.
No, it's like, just let it end. You know, we all fall that way.
Still,
sometimes.
that being said, that's a tough first half for Stewie. Although, it seemed like they, I mean, he said, he put out, what was that, interview or a tweet there, he said, we're going to be trying some new stuff as well this game. I mean, that's where you see the slower style. And I mean, as much as you don't want to be trying those out in a tournament of this size, like, you kind of have to at some point. You have to see if it's going to work against the better opposition. So obviously, they put some time in developing some slower paced tactics, and it gets them 6 rounds in the first half. That's nothing to slouch about.
Now, NiP and Retort do seem to have a couple of Deagles, P250s, and a Tech 9, and a touch of utility. So, building into this one again, quite slow and cautious pace. It seems like both of these teams have come in with that sort of approach, that mentality, and can't really blame, of course, for NiP. You're just looking for picks. You're hoping to find someone, take their head off with that Deagle. We know Rez can certainly do it. We know that Forrest can do it. Certainly some other capable players on that lineup who can find some magic here.
Well, going to try and clear sandbags. He spots it out as well. Automatic. Makes a little bit of a mistake, a bit of a blunder. Skadoodle has the trade, though, so it's down into a 4-on-4. There is another boost as well, which is quite nice to shore up that defense. But, again, with no eyes on mid, it's the information. It's a lack of info that's going to be a little bit painful. Getright's trying to get the gun, and he does get it, takes some damage, but he's stuck there, and nothing finishes him off. Nice proactivity on the map for Cloud9's defense.
Not much given over here for NiP. They're desperately looking for options. The bomb's even still in mid. They haven't even collected that one at this point. You're down to 24 seconds. There's still that utility being put into play. There's still a lot sat by the Cloud9 side. And this could be a last-minute ditch attempt towards B, but they're going to bolster the numbers. Why not put nothing over there? You can just keep him busy. You still have the player in the back of the site. Doesn't need to peek this one anymore. Needs to be a little careful. You don't want to lose out on too much here. Bomb plant's looking less and less likely. 6 seconds, unless they get something ridiculous here. It's not going to be happening. 3 seconds. Any more's a bonus. All right, not bad, Draken.
That's a nice little bonus there at the end, isn't it? Yeah, no bomb plant, but still 3 kills. That's damage to the economy. That's a bunch of rebuys that Cloud9 has to do, but I mean, there was a chance there, right? NiP with that kill in mid, with losing that presence on the map, I mean, that could have gotten very, very dangerous for Cloud9 there, especially if Getright was allowed to be comfortable with that M4. That's a weapon you can turn the tides with. NiP, again, not going for a buy into this round, so 9-8 as Cloud9 look to tie things up on this 3rd round of the second half. The Deagle, it's been so dangerous, and it's not this time. Shroud takes him out.
Always underwhelming when you get your hopes up, but there it is. He finally steps up for you, Jason. I know
Yeah.
you're hoping. And now I think it's got to be a little bit cautious. You've got to be a little careful. You've got support now en route. You've still got players there, one by Vent, one by, I can imagine that's up in heaven. So you're not in the worst position. You just don't want to lose out on more.
And obviously you don't want, if you're Shroud, you don't want to die there at all, but look at the positioning of his team because of the information he got. Yes, he gets 2 kills and then he falls, but his team knows that there was 3 more towards the B bomb site, so that's the lean that comes in to help show up the defense if anything worse were to happen. Stewie's also able to push up close mid and get more information as well. He's spotted 2 rotating back, so they're allowed to get the defense in a position over towards A, so this is all based off the information they're able to gather.
Still like this positioning coming out from nothing as well. I really like that. It's such a pain to get past, especially late in the round when you have nothing else to work with here. There's no cheeky plants coming out this time. You saw, I think it was Shroud last time, obviously, on the T side, being able to make it out there, get that cheeky bomb plant down with literally nothing but a Glock beside him. So again, not letting that happen on Cloud9, just very controlling thus far.
Yeah, so far so good in this half. It's been easier rounds, though, obviously. Now we get into some of the sticky situations. Full AKs for NiP. They have all the utility that they could want to do anything. They can go fast-paced, they can go slow-paced. The trouble is, it's a double-op setup right off the back for Cloud9. And I would imagine someone is going to be a little bit aggressive. There's Stewie. The smoke's going to block him off. He's going to take the shot anyway.
And other than that, we've got automatic having a look towards mid. Nice and aggressive. He's going to hear the moves. If they try and play a rotate off the back, it keeps him guessing. However, it does look like NiP already going for the say here, and they're going to do the backwards open. Gives them a little bit of a peek towards A. Look towards default, but it plays in towards quad, and that's going to be Skadoodle there with the AWP. So a little tricky if they go for a bit of a dry peek on this. They can't really do it, and they're well aware of that. They still have a lot of smokes. Still got a molly as well, so there's plenty of play here, but very cautious moves.
It's this mid presence that I'm interested in at the moment. It seems like, I mean, a lot of those bodies are over towards A main, but nothing baiting for Automatic. He could have a great time. Force is up there. Automatic spots him out, gets the dink, but can't get the kill. Has to go hunting for it, and he does find it. Smoke behind him to cover off the choke point, and he's going to be able to get away safely. Now it's all towards the A bomb site. It's all towards this hit from A main, and Skadoodle's got his op here, although Get Right comes out, lurks perfectly through the smoke.
So good at that as well. Feeling the timing out, just really making it uncomfortable. Skadoodle's waiting for a play in here, waiting for that flash to signify it, but they're already out on site. He's just trying to stay alive. Exist up on top, but Stewie's going to get the play in from that, and no one checks it, but couldn't quite adjust in time. Rez will break through, but it's only Rez now in the... Oh my god, that's a shot and a half. It's a 1v2 now, but Stewie puts his foot down before Rez gets away with it.
Yeah, 3 kill. The rotations come in just at the right moment. It took NiP a little bit of time to kind of really get the courage to try and hit that bomb site. Skadoodle was allowed to be safe behind that smoke. They were trying to go over it, but normally you see that smoke accompanied with some flashbangs, right, to blind that player where Skadoodle was, or in quad, and that's why you see him staring into the wall. But the timing of him getting back towards quad doesn't work out, but still, Stewie's able to get there at the right moment to stop from losing that A bomb site. Nothing as well, swinging over towards forklift. Big defense for them.
It certainly made a difference this time around. And it looks like they're starting to become a little bit more stable now. At least at the moment for Cloud9. It got down to what, a 1v2 at the end, but it felt like they were in control. It wasn't one of those kind of scrappy ones where it's like, oh, that could just tear away. Even though that first shot towards forklift was pretty god tier.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to feel like, you sometimes you watch those players and it's down to specific players, but you feel like no matter what situation they're in, they genuinely can get out of it.
Yeah.
Starting to be a little worried that maybe Rez is going to fall into that category at some point. He's got a little bit of potential, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean that's why he's in this team, right? And I know a lot of people, from a lot of the players that we've heard practicing against NiP have said he's been playing phenomenally in practice, and we're seeing it now here resonate in these matches. I mean, I was looking at the scoreboard that I have up, and it's only the second half stats. That's a bit disappointing. He had a big first half, though.
He did. He absolutely did.
He was phenomenal.
He is looking good so far. Impressive. I think a lot of us were kind of keeping tabs on Drake when he first joined, and he did fine. He filled the role that seemed to be required. That dedicated AWPer who has that ability to shore up some of the issues that NiP had.
20 and 11.
Oh, hello. That's pretty nice.
That's quite good.
I'm kind of into that.
That'll put a smile on your face, won't it?
It certainly does. But something that'll probably put a smile on their face even more is getting around on the board sooner rather than later. 10-9, Cloud9 do start to get the lead, but it's not the end of the world for NiP. They've only had a couple of real shots at this one so far. So again, looking for what you can in this. Bit of armor here, some pistols. Plants, maybe getting a gun away or two. See if you can play it out the back of that. One flash towards quad, one smoke towards the cross. Stewie still. What? How has he done that? Rez finds 2 out of nowhere. Skadoodle and Stewie. What just happened to you?
Yeah, you absolutely can't have that. Not expecting the timing on that hit whatsoever. It seemed like Skadoodle wasn't even prepared for it to come in. Stewie obviously in a very, very awkward spot and just misses the spray. If you're Cloud9, you just save here, I think. I mean, you're gonna stick around and you're gonna wait for the smoke to clear, see if you can get 1 kill because it's against pistols, but I think pretty soon they got to think about saving these weapons. Nothing's low, but there go the nades and everything's burning, but trades come out, exist in a one-on-one with Automatic.
And he only has the pistol, but the bomb's planted so nicely for him. 1 nade on Automatic. He's got to make this one count. Straight on the bomb. Nade goes in. Exist only tagged though. Short of being 2 seconds. That's all he needs at the end of the day. They do get the round on the board. They get all the guns away, and Cloud9, you'll be kicking yourself after that round.
Yeah, you absolutely will, especially because the round before is when you switch into the double op. You spent a lot of money, so their economy is going to be on that knife's edge, right? If they want to go for a buy up here. I don't think you can if you're Cloud9. It's 10 to 10. You don't want to give up any massive advantage by buying too early into this. So yeah, they're just going to go for the pistols, but caught completely off guard by NiP, and that's one of those crippling rounds we often associate with North American teams. Is just everything's looking good, drop that critical anti-eco, anti-force buy, NiP's allowed to get away with one, and they're right back in it.
So I just, it's those rounds that you generally do see the game spiral from as well. We'll find out.
We call them tilt rounds, where you just know someone is going to be frustrated with that one.
Yeah, it's rough, but already NiP getting this one pretty clean. I liked the boost towards mid-red, just kind of expecting the play through middle as well from the CTs, which exactly did happen. You can see the massacre just strewn across. And they still have all their utility, so even if they get into that very late in the end sort of part of the round, they should be able to play out. Drake and misses a bit of a sitter there. And now you can see Shroud being a nuisance in that corner. Swings out on it, tries to get something done, not going to get it. But it may play automatic in a little bit here if he just gets maybe a shot or two. Oh, the tags galore, but nothing to follow up in the form of a kill. Clean round for NiP. Exactly what you see for their economy starting to build. And now Cloud9, it's all eyes back on them. You know, where's the money at for these boys? It's going to be a rough ride going forward. Yeah,
I believe one of them had enough for an AWP to drop it over to Skadoodle if they wanted to. I'm not sure if that's exactly going to happen. Yeah, it will, because Shroud picked one up for him, so that's going to get traded. So everyone's got armor, everyone's got the weapon. What they're lacking is utility. One kit on Stewie, no nades on Shroud, one smoke on Skadoodle. So they're missing quite a bit here, which is going to be interesting to see how they pull off this defense. A little bit of a presence in mid, but it's nothing, and he doesn't have a smoke. If NiP goes for this control, and that's a pretty frequently Molotov position, then he's just going to have to either burn or have to get out in the open, and that's exactly what NiP would love.
Alright, well, with Stewie boosted up, you can kind of leave him a little further alone, so Automatic can go play from highway. That's nice. That kind of relieves a little bit, allows maybe nothing a bit more play here, but holding off angle is going to be tough. Draken's still alive as well, that's the worst thing. He tagged him up so heavily. Now 3 players start to peek. Great flash will allow Draken back on the angle, but Cloud9 retreat. They hold their nerve, but nothing, I don't know how he's going to get out of this. It's all about timing and just hoping it works for him. Forrest's going to give it a good go as well. Nice tags again. Nothing is playing a good game here. Somehow he's still alive. Look at the damage that's been done to NiP as well.
That's a sick exchange, and that's such a hard position to do that from when they know you're there. Nothing has done a great job this round. Such low HP on 3 players. They're still trying to clear him out. There's the Molotov. Exists getting the angle. Finally, it's taken care of, but at what cost? There's Shroud with the FAMAS, but NiP is just winning every single battle after this. It looked like it was going to be so sketchy, but this is quite nice from NiP.
Well, Stewie now giving away a bit of the game. Couldn't follow up as he drops down towards Rez. It's on Skadoodle into the 1v3. Now, the damage was great earlier, but I guess with the AWP, it doesn't really make much of a difference to him in a way. And, well, who's the first man in? It was Get Right waiting, perfectly positioned, and NiP recover, even though that was a very sketchy start.
Yeah, it was.
That damage coming through from nothing, I don't know how he's allowed to stay alive that long in that position. Normally it's instantly mollied. One molly missed, the second finally got him out, but still, 3 players were almost dead due to just him.
Yeah, I mean, everything looked brilliant up until the point where Cloud9, equally nothing, couldn't find any kills, which would have been great to come out, but Exist is able to sneak forward, so he takes the initiative eventually, and Cloud9, now they're really on the back foot. 10 to 12, only pistols, Deagle, CZ, P250. This is a result of that investment we see earlier on and not able to convert that anti-force buy round. That's going to come back to haunt them here. Yeah. Nothing would love to get this kill, but the timing is not with him.
It all does feel like it spirals when it's with Cloud9, isn't it? It's always so close, and then something just goes a little wrong, and then it just avalanches away from them. But plenty of opportunities remain. It just starts to become slimmer and slimmer at this point. 12 to 10, NiP starting to build into this T side. Something that used to be one of their biggest strong points on this map when they were in that classic era of, the resurgence of NiP, right? When Threat first came back, it was their T sides, it was the molly plays, it was the approach.
It was also their ability to not get punished by force buys. They were phenomenal at those anti-eco situations. So here again, they're finding the wrong bomb site. Cloud9 is 4 stacked over towards A. It's just nothing here. In NiP, they're basically treating this as a gun round. Full execute, smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs, everything's out, the whole kit. That's going to be an easy take.
That's perfect. I love teams who do this. They actually take the time to go for their approach. Sure, it's an investment of utility, but for the safety of it, for the approach is brilliant. And it's something that a lot of the French teams used to do as well. It was something that I remember talking about to Sean Gares about. During the classic time of their mollies to be, they used to have this beautiful hit they used to do against pistols that would just clear out every corner.
At this point, you have to treat these pistol rounds as gun rounds. We've seen them so dangerous, and if you underestimate them, that's when you get punished by them. So
absolutely,
NiP is going to get their 13th. Cloud9 had a chance to take the lead earlier. And they struggle with it. Doesn't look like there's too many opportunities for an exit kill for sticking around. And there's the exchange into the Deagle, but automatic, he's just taking too much fire. Draken gets him. And all of Cloud9's going to fall away. Shroud with one, but Silver Lining doesn't really get him too much. Although here comes Stewie. He misses the first few shots, though, but he does get a kill after the fact. Won't be able to save any weapons.
Made a valiant attempt. You know?
Valiant.
Valiant. To no avail, but valiant. All right?
I like it.
Yeah. Cloud9, though, at least they can buy this round. I'm wondering when we're going to see Skadoodle back on an AWP, if ever. Had this.
The money's not there, is it?
It's really not. It's scraping the barrel constantly. There's no bonuses. There's no. You know, oh, they're getting a good couple of kills. Okay, they got a few in the last round, but it's few and far between. But that's a good bit of opening damage. But Forest instantly comes back in, and well, he
Better
can
bit of
see
opening damage.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, Forest. All right, you can see the wood for the trees, and this guy is just going off. I love seeing Forest playing well. It's something that we didn't get to see much of on the first half, but if he's starting to feel more confident, that could be a fun factor to come back around. Now, Shroud and Stewie, no pressure, boys, but you've got a 2v4 to work out.
I love it. That's the benefit of having Forrest on your team. Is it's just like, hey, dude, we're gonna boost you. Just go deathmatch a bit in middle, and he gets you 3 kills. That's it's so fortunate. It makes things a lot easier. Now you can see NiP after that aggression from Forrest, and that was it. They're gonna take things slow because they know Cloud9 with no information. I mean, there's 2 things they can do. They can spread out to each bomb site and hope someone comes up with some kind of massive play, or they can group up and just gamble. Either way, it's gonna be man advantages for NiP, and I believe that's even. Shroud's going to spot one here, but he misses the shot. We now know where he is. Molotov to force them into the angle, but Exist is going to win that fight, and it's just down to Stewie. He's in mid. There's even a lurker over towards the 8 bomb site. Stu just doesn't really have a lot he can do here.
No. I don't know if he can get any guns away either. If he can find a certain position, maybe it's pure luck at this point. And
if you're NiP as well, you hunt this round. You
Absolutely.
take that gun away from him. You have all the money in the world. They have the losing bonus, and that's about all they have going for him.
who's hunting already? I think it's Rez. Yeah, Rez up on highway.
The unfortunate thing is he flanked A, so he came through either A main or door, so he's not ever going to guess that Stewie is here. It'll be interesting to see if they can find him in the end. This would be great to get that gun away either way. 14-10. NiP has taken complete control of this match.
Yeah, it was quite, first half I think was initially that nice back and forth trading, and then you saw that run from NiP where it started to become more stable, and then the resurgence of Cloud9. Sadly, we haven't really seen much of a fight out of Cloud9 on this half. Even though, the scoreline isn't the worst in the world, it certainly looks competitive, but it doesn't feel they've ever been quite in it yet. It feels like if they do manage to win around, maybe NiP made a couple of mistakes here or there, or a good bit of damage was done individually from Cloud9, but I'm just not seeing that collective kind of effort through yet. And the money has been so bad for them consistently. Yeah, and
they really it's all due to losing that force buy from NiP. They just haven't been able to get on it since then. Also, the switch into the double up setup. That's why sometimes we talk about switching into the double up setup so early in a half can be very risky, because they've built up money through the first 3 rounds, and then as soon as the 4th round comes, you spend all of that to get the second op, and then you just lose it if you can't sustain a winning performance. So heartbreaking from Cloud9.
This is one that really does matter. It looks like a slow build hit towards B from NiP. Coiled, waiting to strike, but there are 2 players here. Shroud can get contact, nothing can swing. Nade comes in, nothing watches. Flash goes out, he's going aggressive on this. Great flash as well, perfectly done. Cloud9 retain numbers, finally. Not going to drop this one just yet, but again, NiP testing the waters. Forest straight out there, feeling confident. Maybe a little too confident, as now Automatic comes in from the vents, and you've got a brilliant shutout here. Yeah,
this is great use of utility from Cloud9. All of NiP gets bottlenecked, they get aggressive behind it as well. Slow down that hit, take out all the teeth of it. And this is perfect. Exist and Rez have nowhere to go. They had no presence over towards A, so there's not even another option. They can't fall back and try and get something going. They just have to move forward and take these fights. All the while, Stu coming from behind. There's 1 kill and a second at range. Cloud9, they respond 11, and they get all 5 players to survive. They even get a free AWP. That's probably the best thing that could have happened to get them back into this match.
Yeah, it was so nicely done between, I think it was, Shroud and Nothing then?
Yeah.
Really well played between each other. Instantly there was Automatic. He's been playing quite, attentively towards middle as well. He's been pushing up quite some rounds in a row. So again, he's a quick rotate through the vents. It played very nicely into Cloud9's hands there. NiP maybe a little taken aback from that. Go back to what's been working. Maybe playing that default out a little bit more. Slowly playing through middle. Maybe just unleashing Forest there if they feel like it. But Exist boosted up. Wait and see if there's any aggression coming through. And it's not a bad call. Automatic has been doing this on a regular basis.
He's close up once again. It's Automatic and Shroud this time back towards Connector. And that's a nice little boost in the A bomb site. Gets a lot of damage on a Draken with the AWP. Bit rough. And the Molotov forces Rez back. We've seen a couple times these two newer members of NiP working together early on in the rounds. And Rez, with all the HP, is going to take the angle to punish anyone swinging in towards Quad from the site. So Cloud9's got to be cautious of that. All the meanwhile on the other side of the map, 4 NiP players looking like they want to prod mid, take some kind of control, pressure this just a little bit. Forrest again is the one boosted up.
So we've got Shroud playing over by Sandbags as well, but Rez finds success towards Stewie. That's massive, and Get Right as well on the other side of the map. This is a disaster for Cloud9. You thought maybe the pressure would really surmount towards middle, but no, it was the extremities that have cost them everything. Maybe there's recovery here. Maybe Shroud can provide something. Automatic's the one to take down Forrest, but now 2 players probably noted. They know the plan now, but where's NiP going to take this? Surely B. They already have so much control.
Yeah, I mean, Get Right just lurked his way in towards Checkers, so no one can really rotate and get comfortable, and Cloud9's got to be so confused. They're just losing players on the sides of the map. There's a good 2 kills to find, though, into a 2-on-2, one towards the A site. Shroud, oh, he gets a second through the smoke, put him at a huge advantage, and Get Right, it's all on him. One of the reasons they got into a 2-on-2 position. Shroud again spamming through the smoke. They know exactly where he is. 8 seconds on the clock, though.
Shroud will not go quietly in this one, but he baits out one, and now Get Right knows he had to take that fight. 3 seconds on the plant. I don't think it's going to be enough. No, and that'll be it. Shroud did everything he could to save that round, and successfully did so, keeping Cloud9 in this game, bearing in mind. If you felt that one spiraled away from them, that could have been it, but Shroud threw the smoke on the first. I think Drake was a little early on it as well, maybe able to see something, but that shot there, just predicting it, hearing it, whatever it was, that saved them.
Yeah, that's brilliant out of Shroud, isn't it? And then he has the presence of mind as well to not go chase, knowing the time is running low. Get Right can't get the plant in time, and even gets punished afterwards. No bonus money for, no bonus money for Get Right in that. A little bit rough. Either way, Cloud9 just hanging on by the skin of their teeth in that round.
It's just those glimmers of hope you see with Shroud on occasion.
Yeah.
You know, it keeps you wanting more, doesn't it? That's the thing with me with this guy. You see it every now and then. You think, if that became consistent, if that could be provided every time,
right,
you know, what on earth could this man achieve? But still, so far, not bad. Forrest, though, last time had brilliant success here. 3 kills that just looked so easy for him.
Automatic again playing this pretty aggressively. Hasn't felt any pressure quite yet. The crazy thing about the last round for Cloud9 is that they lose so much presence in each bomb site early on. It can be so tough to recover from that when both the extremities get punished to a player each. They're able to somehow make it back. Rez again going for this pick, trying to find the individual duel. It's going to be Stewie over at Toxic Barrels. Here's the peek. The head is spotted as well. Just trying to predict it, pre-firing the angle. Cloud9's not giving him anything at the moment.
I wouldn't either if I knew this, Rez. This guy's been able to hit some blinders, but you've still got nothing on this angle as well, playing out of MBK corner, so he's got that one under wraps. If Automatic can still do something here, surely not. No. Every single time they're going to check on it, and Forrest is clean right now. This is a crisp looking Forrest with the jump as well to make it look good, and of course the follow-up, Stewie, gets shattered, and Cloud9 are looking vulnerable now. It's all down to one. Oh my word! Who Scream? Because Forrest is tapping like a champ.
He just makes it look so easy. It's almost frustrating to watch. Forrest is just clinical at the moment. That's the second time he's just melted this Cloud9 defense. All down to Shroud. This time he doesn't even have a chance for any heroics. NiP's going to get up towards match point. It's going to be 15-12 in this game. All thanks to Forrest with a couple big rounds.
God.
It's the danger of mid control, right? Although, I mean, to be fair, they even had automatic aggressive. They had one player at the highway box as well. Just doesn't work when you get deleted in a bullet.
No, literally. Forrest banged out Automatic before he could even return fire. Lands the jump perfectly, gets nice and aggressive towards highway, trashes them. It's just, you know, that's the scary thing with Forrest, though. It's a Forrest that you don't often see, or at least these days, that he's unstoppable when he gets going. There's very little you can do about that man. We've seen it twice now through middle, but again, this is a very scary lineup in the form of NiP here. It's a close game still. You know, Cloud9 have brought this back to a very competitive matchup. You don't want to forget what they've done to be able to get to this point. It's 12-15. It's still very, very good from them, but it's certainly not a win at the moment. And Draken misses a shot you'd expect him to almost hit on that point.
That was Skadoodle. He's very fortunate to get away with his life. And that AWP almost scares him away. Automatic's pushed up mid, but he's got no support this time. We've seen him a couple times with a teammate. Even that hasn't always gone to plan, so he's back at it again. Forrest, but it's going to be Rez one more time to open it up. There's the push in towards mid. Automatic gets one, but he's going to get traded off. So slowly but surely, NiP is just whittling down this defense. Whatever play is made, NiP is finding the trades.
Yeah, and succeeding so well. Now you're down to 3. Cloud9, you've got Stewie up on Highway. You've got Nothing and Shroud playing over by B. And NiP looking for this. Hunting out their next victim. And Forest, a real danger man as of late, especially through middle. Might have his next victim just moments away, or slow it down, play it out, try and just spot out where these last remaining players are.
It's so unfortunate because Cloud9 really at this, they just have to gamble. And at the moment they're gambling on the B bomb site and they're not getting anything. They're saying Stewie has the most powerful weapon, let's put him towards middle and A, and we'll just take the rest. But he's got to go hunting. They can't just sit back and allow NiP to execute. So here's Stewie, turn the corner, finds Forest. Now we can go back towards the A bomb site with that AK-47, but they've already taken it. 3 on 3 though. This is for the map.
No kits, no utility. It's just that raw firepower that Cloud9 have to bring to the plate. Now bomb going to be planted any second now. Smoke goes up. Limited play now towards quad and site. One towards truck. Oh no! Ooh, one. Wait, how is that a tag? He just saw him above the smoke. Nothing. Going to be playing back into this. Forklift is the next big issue, and that's Drake, and that's a shot he's going to hit. But the first one he missed earlier was a bit of a sitter in comparison, but the 2v2, and aggression from Rez, taking the fight, but gets outdone. Stewie in the end stands. It's down to the 1v1, but time is a factor. He has no kit and no shot. It exists to shut things down, and NiP showing that cash is still beside them.
Yeah, and that's a really good performance. Once they establish the economy, in the first half it's that trading back and forth, then they go on a big run. The second half as well, they get beat early on, but they win that force buy. That gives them all the money they need and even punishes Cloud9's. And you can see, they have there's a lot of dangerous tools in this team. Forest is going to be playing like that, and then all of a sudden you have Rez and Draken more than willing to be aggressive, more than willing to be playmakers early on in these rounds. Rez was impressive.
Yeah, this is his debut to our eyes on this sort of arena stage. Once he gets out in that crowd, maybe if they make it there, so it looks like he could be doing it in this sort of form. We have to see how well he does, but this guy's made an impression. And not a bad result against Cloud9 at all. Their first foray into the group stage. Got to say, credit to NiP, they've come out swinging.
Yeah, they've had some pressure put on them, for sure.
Well, we're going to find out what the announcers thought of that one just after the break. But guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment's time.